Roxanne, hi, Yvette. Roxanne, you're not easy, you know. You like the volume? Well, I was using my husband Bluetooth all the time. So you know how the drama does be with that. I buy my own today because I get my money for my birthday. My birthday was only 12. My husband gave me my money and I went and buy my Bluetooth. So I have my own little Bluetooth. So if it's sounding different, that is my thing. Tell me if it's too loud or not, right? Because I'm now working out the whole thing. Just today I get it. I ain't get time to go through it and all the dramas, right? So you tell me if the volume is just right. Hi, Kenneth. I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of my God and my country. I'll honor my parents, my teachers, my leaders, my elders, and those in authority. I'll be clean and honest in all my thoughts, my words, and my deeds. And I'll strive in everything I do to work together with my fellow men of every creed and race for the greater happiness of all and the honor and glory of my country. So people, we started one time, no time to sick. Yes, I show why I mustn't show off? And there's some people on social media saying, my husband better than yours or some back and also. But I'm not getting into that. I just saying there's some people on Facebook saying them thing, right? And they have some challenge or whatever. Good news. You all remember, I don't know if you all have heard about it, the young boy who was kidnapped and his father was saying all he wants is that he let go his son for the son to come home and that will be his Christmas. The son, I think, is 14 years old. Well, good news. Good news. Very, very good news. Um, this was in The Guardian. And as I wait for it to load, hi, Constance. So this was yesterday, so probably people would have gotten the news already. It says breaking news, kidnapped teen found. 14-year-old kidnapped victim, Zahir Samuel, has been found. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has confirmed tonight. That was last night. Samuel was kidnapped while at his parents' business, S&S Plant and Garden Shop in St. Augustine, early Wednesday. At 5:30 a.m. on Wednesday, the teen was helping his parents set out plants and other items as they prepared to open their shop when a brown wagon bearing the number plate PEA 3666 pulled up and two men came out and grabbed Samuel. They then bundled him into the car and drove off. The TTPS has been searching for him since then, with his father, Samuel Williams, appealing to the abductors to release his son. However, a short while ago, a senior Trinidad and Tobago police officer that was yesterday confirmed that Zahir had been found safe and no other information, including where he was found and his physical condition, was revealed. But I read somewhere where he spoke about them. They carried him somewhere. He was blindfolded and all that. They had him tied up like they carried him in the forest or something, and he started to complain that he was getting some pain, someone on the bandage or something, because he has some pre-existing condition. And they would have loosened the tie for him and they left him there and went somewhere. And when he see they didn't come back, he decided to walk and get out of it. So he was walking for a long while. He fell down in the water or a river or something. It was a real experience because he was just walking. He didn't know where he was. And then he saw lights and stuff. And then he came to this place. It had a house. And the man now recounting that his door was open and the boy came into the yard, and when the wife saw him, the wife started to scream because he was dirty and all that. And then the boy told him what had happened, and he's the boy that was kidnapped. And then from there, everything would have, of course, probably the police would have gotten involved and that. So we want to thank God for his safe return and that Mr. Samuel and his wife, they have this son home for Christmas, 14 years old. God is great. Holy time. I'm seeing that Liat, remember Liat long time, that was a big airline used to go all around. No, it's not a once upon a time. How I say it must sound like once upon a time. Probably I just get at telling, making things sound, that kind of, but it's not once upon a time, but that's what I was reading and that's what I remember from recollection. And because I'm into storytelling and playwriting and things, it's kind of easy for me just to But when I read it, I was just happy the young chap is found. You all remember Liat? Liat was a big airplane long time that fly in the Caribbean. You know. People used to have a grip on. Remember grip long time? The big heavy hard thing is after grip you get suitcase. Grip was a real heavy thing like a box, you know, a hard box. Then we get suitcase and now we have travel on and all kind of thing because yes, time has evolved. So Liat, I'm seeing in the Guardian 20 hours ago, Liat 20 began service to Trinidad and Angus Antigua-based airline Liat 20 began its scheduled service to Trinidad yesterday. Liat 20 5N-BUV and Embraer ERJ-145 operating as 5L365 touched down at Piaco International Airport yesterday with 15 passengers on board from Antigua. People who ain't flying will know all them thing I just called what that means. I don't have a clue. It marks the start of a 5-time-a-week commercial service with the airline linking Port of Spain to Grenada, Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, and Antigua and Barbuda. Liat 20 will add 1,750 seats to the market weekly. Speaking at the route launch, Minister of Tourism, Culture and the Arts, Randall Mitchell, said the Caribbean is TNT's second largest source market, with the region accounting for 20% of all arrivals. Speaking regarding Mira Piaco International Airport, he emphasized the government's goal to increase regional connectivity, saying it is really an important route, opening up this airlift, opening up the seat capacity for persons to come here, and of course, making the journey within the Caribbean all the more economical. Mitchell also dismissed concerns that Liat 20 would push local carrier Caribbean airline out of some routes. Competition is good. The demand is there for both players to serve the market well and for them to do it profitably, said Mitchell. The name Liat 20 may evoke memories of the now defunct Liat, yes, Liat boy, 1974, but it is an entirely different airline. Anyway, Liat 20 is a partnership between Nigerian airline Air Peace and the government of Antigua and Barbuda. Air Peace owns 70% of Liat 20, while the Antiguan government has a 30% stake in the airline. Liat 1974 Limited permanently ceased all commercial flying operations on January 24, 2024. It was majority owned by Barbados, Antigua, Barbuda, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. While Liat 20 CEO Hafsaf Abdul Salam acknowledged the public new airline with a new mission. For us, this is a new Liat with new management and new branding. It means we will be available to fly you whenever you want to fly or wherever you want to fly. And when we commit to a time and a service, we will be delivering that. People, let's stick with me. Like it's going to be that kind of day where the life is only sticking. I don't know what's happening with these providers. You're paying your money on time. You expect service on time. We just get a good grading with how we our internet speed and all that. Come now, man. Be mobile. Come now, man. I am paying my money on time. I expect to get proper service because when you don't pay, all it does call you one time, cut your phone and all kind of thing. Okay. So as I was saying, the new CEO of Liat is saying that their LIAT means, under this new branding, it means that we are available to fly you whenever you want or wherever you want to fly. And when we commit to a time and service, we will be delivering that service to you. Because the old LIAT, they say, used to be called leave island anytime. That's what LIAT used to be called a long time. She said 1974, but she let you know. Not the same thing. Them is fly you whenever you want to fly. So that is nice. Trinidad is the 12th destination on the 20s network since it began operations in August 6th. The airline began service to Kingston, Jamaica on Friday. So that's some good news. Leah brings back so much memories to us, especially trying from the 60s. Um, I'm also seeing that a company. Hi, Jonathan. Hi, Shireen. Hi, Maria. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rebecca. I'm seeing Chrisley Limited. And Chrisley Limited is who? So this was in the Trinidad Express, December the 17th. Chrisley Limited praised for earning Forex for Trinidad and Tobago. This sounds interesting. So let's read some more. At times somebody tell me, why you only reading? Why you only reading all them things and then why don't you just read the headline? And I was like, where's the sense in reading headlines? Read the story that people hear. So I continue to read the stories, right? So Minister of Trade and Industry, Paula Gopi School, has commended Crystal Limited for playing its part in earning forex exchange through exports. Crystal Limited, a manufacturer of household and industrial items, is experiencing increasing demand for its products. The company, which has entered into 11 markets in the span of 2 years, recently cut the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturing Association, like the TTMA 2023 Manufacturer of the Year Small Business Award and the Most Successful Market Entrance Small Award. Gopi Schoon yesterday participated in a tour of Chrisley's Limited Arima factory accompanied by the TTMA President Roger Roach and its Chief Executive Officer Dr. Mahindra Ramdeen. Gopi Schoon said that the firm has successfully expanded through strategic trade missions facilitated by the Trade Ministry, Export TT, now Trinidad and Tobago Trade and Investment Promotion Agency, and the TTMA. She said when they first engaged with Crystal Limited, the company was only operating in Guyana. Now that Guyana market has grown for him, and now that he is in 10 other Caribbean countries, Gopi Schoon said. She added that Crystal Limited is now exploring opportunities for extra regional growth. And now there is direct connectivity into Curaçao, so they have done extremely well. And we are pleased for the line of products, 30 products in all in various sizes. The products are very attractive with new labeling, she said. At this stage, I think they have grown exponentially for a small business, and now we are looking forward to see them grow. We love to hear about containers being filed and going into new markets, Gopi Schoon said. She told the owners of Crystal Limited that by what you do, you are helping this country, you are earning foreign exchange, and there is a cry outside, and you are doing your part. We couldn't be more grateful to you as a young businessman really doing your part. Yes, growing your family business, but also growing Trinidad and Tobago export. And as I said, earning foreign exchange for the benefit of the rest of the country. And Roger Roach, president of TTMA, underscored the importance of visiting its members from time to time to get a sense of their progress. He said this is an award-winning company, back to back. They have won substantial awards in their category, and I'm very proud of them for that, says Roach. I think that Roach, his father, if I'm not mistaken, is Langston Roach, who does a lot of household products also. So big up to the CEO of, or the president of TTMA. This is an award-winning company, back to back. All right. Parts of these visits is not only to see how far they have come, but also to do a quick gap analysis as to what may be needed or to or needed to go even further. And this company has something that a lot of businesses wish for, which is a high demand for their products. And with high demand comes a requirement to scale up and to put where there is manual processing to get more automated processes so we could meet the growing demands for this business, he said. Rhodes said that while Christie Limited was able to get into 10 countries in a 2-year period, some companies take 20 years to do that. So Christie Limited need to share with small businesses what is their formula. So it is a testimony to the work they have put in. It is a testimony to the foundation that was laid by Christie Limited Managing Director Christopher Garcia, and it's testimony to hard work Christie Deputy Managing Director Jonathan is doing, Rhodes said. Managing Director of Christie Limited, Christopher Garcia, expresses gratitude to both the Ministry of Trade and the TTMA, noting the company is well poised for future growth. Congratulations there to that company. And as I had told you sometime last week, I think, that Senator Obika is out in Africa and he has carried a lot of products from here, sample products, and the groceries across there, I think it's Togo, I'm not, can't remember. And they're excited, they want the products on the shelf, and they also setting up an office for asphalt products that will come from Labre to them and sold out there. So, and that of course will bring revenue, foreign exchange, because nobody buying nothing, no TT dollars, it's US dollars. So that's another thing happening out there too, while they say that we're suffering. I'm also seeing some good news again for Tobago, and it has to do with this. You remember the cigars and weed that took over a lot of shorelines or sea lines in the Caribbean, making it look very unsightly and all that. So research has gone into it, and different scientists in the fields would have started to use the cigars and weed and create other products adding with it. I know in Barbados that they are using that with some animal feces or something so, and some other thing to create some type of energy for energy something canola bacchanal. So I'm seeing here, this is a pathway to Tobago's energy autonomy, and I'm just going to read. Okay, it's not really long, so I could read it. So it says here, in a groundbreaking development, you see, Barbados has unveiled the world's first vehicle powered by renewable natural gas, RNG, derived from sargassum seaweed, rum distillery wastewater, and blackberry sheep manure. You see, I wasn't too wrong. This innovative project, spearheaded by Dr. Legina Henry, CEO and the founder of Rum and Sargassum Limited, incorporated in collaboration with the University of the West Indies, UWI Cave Hill campus, marks a significant advancement in renewable energy that has been celebrated in notable publications like the BBC. Excuse me. The initiative helps address the environmental challenges posed by sargassum influxes, which included reduced beach attractiveness for locals and tourists and difficulty fishing. This innovation also offers a sustainable energy solution by converting organic waste into biofuel. The successful test drive of the sargassum-powered vehicle underscores the project's potential to reduce reliance on traditional energy sources and promote a circular economy where waste products from society are constantly being reused for other activities and products. Potential for Tobago. Recognizing the alignment between the far-sighted vision and Tobago's need for innovation or innovative solutions to our underdevelopment, efforts were made to work with Dr. Henry as a collaborative group including educational institutions, Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, MIC Institute of Technology, the Tobago House of Assembly, the private sector, and facilitated by Tobago's Civil Net. However, despite initial momentum, the project did not reach its potential, leaving only a local private company in Tobago working directly with the Barbados entity. Opportunities for Tobago. By engaging in this pioneering project, Tobago stands to gain technological innovation, environmental management, economic benefits, energy autonomy, right? And when I didn't read what it entails, but it says if all this is done, then the success of the Barbados project serves as an inspiring model for Tobago. It is imperative for stakeholders, including civil society, government agencies, educational institutions, and the private sector, to collaborate and explore the feasibility of implementing similar initiatives here. By doing so, Tobago can transform an environmental challenge into an opportunity for sustainable development and energy autonomy. I want to tell Dr. Ryan Allard, who would have written this, Farley and I'm not interested in them things. You'll be more lucky with a PNM run THA to look into that. Farley and them is not about that life. I will tell all you why I suspect they're not about that life. It's all about the dressing and the flying and the flying here and there and everywhere and talking all kind of big and stupid talk with nothing behind it. So Dr. Allard, what's his name again just now? Dr. Allard, Dr. Ryan Allard, I appreciate you for trying. Don't give up. I'm also seeing how the Hollis Reservoir is filled, and that's what we want to hear. We want to hear that the reservoir and them full of water because we need the water. So, hi Hadara, hi Candace. So I'm seeing here Wassa, December the 20th. Today is the 20th. Oh my goodness, today's my brother's birthday. As I come off at the podium. So this was CNC3 News. Wassa production at Hollis Reservoir now at full capacity. Good news. The Hollis Reservoir has reached full capacity, following recent rainfall activity, which has fully recharged the impounded reservoir. The Water and Sewage Authority has reported in an advisory. Wassa say now that the reservoir is at full capacity, it can proceed to enhance the water supply for several communities in our distribution network. God, what? This achievement comes as a result of diligent management and recent rainfall, moving production from 5.5 million gallons per day 1 week ago to a stable 9.5 million gallons per day over the last 5 days, Wassa revealed in the statement. So goodness gracious, this is good news. This increase in production continues to ensure that our residents have access to reliable water they need. This enhancement will not only support daily needs, but also boost our efforts during peak usage time, Wassa said. It added, we are committed to improving our service delivery, and this development allows us to operate our treatment plant at full capacity, ensuring that residents within this distribution zone benefits from an enhanced and consistent water supply. So the following are among several communities reportedly are experiencing an improved pipe-borne water supply. We have the tongue of Arima South, Quinzel Street, Morris Avenue, Devness Street, Farfan Street, Pro Queen Street, Reed Lane, Arima, Eastern Main Road, Victory Street, Railway Road, Old Arima Road, Beckers Lane, Saruga Drive, Churchill Circular, Ted Street, Martinez Road, Recreational Grounds, Samaru Village, Moto Lands, Omira Road, Christina Gardens, Darwell Gardens, Leotard Lands, the Orchard or the Orchard, El Rancho Tropical, Sierra Vista, Malabar Phase 2, Bonnier Gardens, Bonnier West, Waterloo Road, parts of Eastern Main Road, Lupino Road, Dunder Hill Road. So those are the areas are going to get an improved supply of water because the Hollis Reservoir is full to capacity. So the authority also thanks the public for its patience during the many occasions, disruptions in water supply when it was experiencing. We would like to take the opportunity to thank our stakeholders for their patience and understanding during the scheduling adjustment made during the 2024 dry season and beyond as reservoir levels were slow to recharge due to below than average rainfall. The adjustments made during that period were necessary to manage water resources effectively, Wassa said. Your cooperation have been invaluable in helping us navigate those challenges and maintain the quality of service you expect from us. And the Water Authority is reminding citizens that the 2025 dry season will soon be here. As we move forward, we encourage everyone to continue practicing water conservation whenever possible, Wassa said. Together, we can ensure sustainable water supply as we prepare. Excuse me, and I was going so good. As we prepare for the 2025 dry season. So that is good news. All them areas there, that real good news. Hi Augusto, hi Cheryl, hi Camille. We comment every things, and there's always have. We must talk about other things, we can't just talk about the politics alone and bacchanal alone. We must have, widen our scope. Widen our scope and our knowledge. You remember the bacchanal was talking about, they were talking about a cashless society. Oh my God, what will happen in a cashless society? What it is, they want to be able to control our money. They want to be able to control our finances. They want to get into our account. Oh my God, oh my God. And it was simply moving towards it. You still have the normal way to do money transaction. But this is a society that is nearly cashless. Sweden. So let's read about Sweden. And this was December the 18th, 2024. It's in the conversation. I don't know. I think it's a newspaper probably. It says that Sweden is nearly cashless society. They didn't put an A. No, I'm wrong. Sweden is a nearly cashless society. Here's how it affects people who are left out. Around the world, cash and apps are the default way to pay. But nowhere is the transition away from cash more than obvious than in Sweden. The Bank of Sweden notes that the amount of cash in circulation in the country has halved since 2007. Parts of this is due to a unique Swedish law that prioritizes freedom of contract above any legal requirement to accept cash. In other words, it is up to businesses, including banks, whether they take cash. Public transport stores and service typically do not accept cash payments, and there is no infrastructure for paying bill over the counter. The transition of cashlessness has accelerated when a group of banks created a mobile payment app, Swiss, in 2012. By 2017, Sweden was using less cash than other European countries. Today, more than 80% of the population has a Swiss account. For most Swedes, the cashless economy is swift and convenient. As long as you have a bank account and can access the technology, you probably live in a cashless life already. You live a cashless life already. But for the few people who still depend on cash, life is getting harder. Our recent research shows that this affects the worst of groups in Sweden's cashless society. Our interviewers lived in poverty-induced cash dependency, meaning they rely on cash payments because they are unbanked, lack credit, or cannot afford digital technology. While it is difficult to measure just how many people depend on cash, older people particularly are struggling to pay bills digitally. Some of those we interviewed are homeless or have mental health issues. Others live in a very low income. The obstacles they face are both practical and cultural. They feel like delinquents, undervalued, and locked out of participating in much of the daily life. Now, what is interesting to me, Sweden has homeless. Sweden have people who are suffering. Sweden has people who have mental challenge. I am shocked because the way Kamala and them the stock is only Trinidad and Tobago has problems. Being cash dependent in Sweden. If cash is the only money you have or the only money you can manage without help, you are confined to a cash bubble. Cash works like a local currency, isolated from the rest of the economy. In the cash bubble, you can buy necessities and go to no frill cafes, but you can't pay for parking, you can't pay bills without help. Volunteers at local community groups told us that they spend most of their time doing people's banking for them. A Ukrainian refugee who can't get a bank account because of their migration status worried about a bill from the local health clinic that they had no technical means of paying. Homeless people who sleep in cars can't use the cashless parking meters, so an illicit market has emerged where people with smartphones and bank accounts pay their parking at a substantial extra cost. It's expensive to be digitally poor. Our interviewers left us behind in a society that does not care about their ability to participate. With a mixture of shame, anger, and resignation, they describe everyday humiliations. One woman saved up to buy her grandchild a gift she wanted, only to be told at the till, grandchild in hand, that they didn't accept her money. I felt like a thief, she told us. No, 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 tell me it is not so. I thought in our country, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley is a tyrant, he's a dictator that don't care the pain and don't care about anybody. In Sweden, if you have cash, you are digitally poor. You can't do much. And then I told you it's only Trinidad and Tobago, there are people who commit crime. Oh my God. To hear now that they're advantaging people who live in the cars, and because they're not cashless, it have people that smartphone in the bank making $1 off of them extra. No, I'm not being I'm not ridiculing. I'm just saying it may sound as if I'm making a joke. I'm saying in context of how they carry on in this country. Sweden, this is a developed society in Europe. The people are having challenges and they're angry, they're humiliated because they cannot spend the cash. Okay. Because the society is cashless. 80% cashless. So Sweden cashless transition. Swedes are known to be early and uncritical adopters of technology that has become part of the country's self-image. In 2017, business researchers predicted that cash would be irrelevant in Sweden by March 2023. It didn't quite happen, but it's near enough. Over the last 150 years, technological innovations and entrepreneurship have propelled the country from severe poverty to being one of the richest in Europe. And yet they have people living in cars, can't pay the bills because they have cash. And the Swedish case is even more special due to the pervasive role of banks in the payment and identification infrastructure. Banks create the widely used payment app Swiss and also issue the electronic ID needed to access public services like the tax authority and benefits for illness, disabilities, and unemployment. Consequently, if you are not a bank customer, you can't access these public services. When they change in this country and they told those who receiving government grants because of what was happening, people not getting it in the mail and fraud and all that, and they told them they have to get a bank account. Oh my God. People started carrying on. Oh, how will the elderly do it? How will they do it? Why they're so wicked? Why they can't just have some who still want to collect the cash? And now the elderly are very comfortable. They have their bank account, the money goes straight to their account, and they have to treat it after. You hear they say in Sweden here, if you still depend on cash payment, then you will be poor, digitally poor, because you can't spend no money, they don't want it. Yeah? So let me continue again. And it will be hard for you to access benefits for illness, disability, and unemployment. Consequently, if you are not a bank customer, you can't act right. During the pandemic, fears of contamination made handling physical money seem like a health hazard. I hate cash, it's dirty. as one Swedish tech entrepreneur put it. All of those factors combined have led to a modern Swedish society where digital money is good and cash is associated with crime and dirt. For people who still depend on cash payments, this stigma adds to their sense of being left out. In Sweden, as in many other countries, a fully cashless economy feels inevitable in the coming years. But we have found people who rely on cash due to poverty are left without the means to manage independently or even pay their bills. This is not just a practical issue, it is an emotional one. There is a sense of loneliness, a loss of community and human connection in the digital economy. As one of our interviewers said, it is not just cashlessness. I feel that human beings have disappeared. We live like robots, click here, click that. Digitization has made people lonely. That is coming out of Sweden. No, it's only Trinidad and Tobago that's a problem. Nowhere else in the world. And how homeless people have people who can't pay for the rent, can't pay the bills. Oh, it's only Trinidad and Tobago. Where have people angry and humiliated and feel left out and feel unloved and unwanted. Nobody cares for them. No, it's only Trinidad. It's happening in Sweden. So let me continue. Hi, Joyner. I see Guyana, Exxon Mobil again. Papa. So this is the Criteria News. And it says here, excuse me, ExxonMobil took 179 million barrels of oil in 2024 and gave the Guyana 26 million barrels. Excuse me. This information was presented by the Ministry of Natural Resources on Sunday in an advertisement published by Criteria News. The ministry offered insights into the key achievements of not only the oil and gas sector, but the mining and forestry industries as well. One of the highlights of this year under the petroleum sector were the total lifts of crude exported as of November the 30th, 2024. It should be noted that each lift totaled 1 million barrels of oil. The ministry reported 205 lifts of crude were exported as of 30th of November 2024. The GOG benefited from 26 lifts of profit oil executed on November 30th, that is Guyana. This means that the operators of the block ExxonMobil Guyana Limited and its partners, Hess Guyana Exploration Limited and the CNOOC Petroleum Guyana Limited enjoy the bulk of oil produced during the period amounting to 179 lifts or 179 million barrels of oil. According to the 2016 PSA, 75% of the oil produced monthly shall be recovered by Exxon as cost, or Exxon also benefits from another 12.5% of oil produced in Guyana, which is recorded as its profit. Despite ongoing calls to the government of Guyana to renegotiate the terms of the oil deal with Exxon, the administration is reluctant to engage the companies, saying that to do so would be a breach of the sanctity of contracts principles like unlikely loss of future investment. Really? Presently, EMGL is producing oil from 3 projects in the Stabroek block, including the Liza 1, Liza 2, and Yara. The ministry's achievement indicated that oil production surged to 624,000 barrels per day. In the meantime, the ministry noted Guyana export value surged by a record 77% in 2024, powered by the country's rapidly expanding oil and gas sector, according to the Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, ECLAC, latest trade report. Furthermore, the spotlight was placed on the capping stack that had been procured by Exxon as part of its oil readiness or spill readiness. According to the operators, this capping stack is one of the only 13 in the world and one of the only 2 in Latin America. A capping stack is a heavy piece of equipment that is placed over a blown out well. It acts as a cork to limit the flow of hydrocarbons. Didn't Dr. Roger go sign, talking about our economy and we should do like Guyana, we should be like Guyana and all of them talking about Guyana and how Guyana doing so well. Based on Crichton News, Guyana again eat out. And this thing when they're saying about the sanctity of contract and they can renegotiate, we government renegotiated the contracts left by Canada where they tell you all companies, take what you want, take everything, you have to give me nothing till 2024. And we government, Minister Siotong and Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley went out to Hague, went to Texas and all where the oil giants and them is, and let them know we renegotiating the terms and conditions of this contract, where the sanctity was. They even asked, I think Minister Young, even when they went to Guyana, suggested to the government that if they want help, I clearly remember, if they want help to help them with the contract, they will get help. Did they can take the help? No. So don't tell me nothing, but we should be like Guyana. We should be like Trinidad and Tobago, and anybody want to assist us and help them with the contract and the desert, we do that. Other than that, don't tell me nothing we should be like with ourselves. Dr. Rowley said, contracts are not made in stone. And when conditions change, contract could change. So I don't know what the government of Guyana is saying. I am shocked. But everybody, oh my God, the president of Guyana is giving all of the Guyanese a one-time payment, one-off. They should have given them right through. They have enough money, they could have get it every month. And I show you the plenty of people quarreling because they're lining up for hours. Nobody tell them nothing. They have a next video with a next set of people, so things ain't going no smoothly. So when Vice President, I think he named Barra Jagdeo, talk about we economy collapsing and we are on the brink of that. Because he and them, it is alleged, UNC and them is friends, it is alleged. Mr. Dear President Jagdeo, look at your economy because the rate where they're going, like the only people based on all I reading, real making money is ExxonMobil in Trinidad and Tobago. Is all that we doesn't make money. The oil company making the monies, Trinidad and Tobago making the monies. Let me continue. So, Fali, that's all Trinidad does do. They're only looking at one-off payment. They don't look at the payment that is getting in this country every month. So St. Lucia gave them one-off payment of $500. I don't know if it's US. And oh my God. And they're not studying every month in this country, disability grant paid. Every month in this country, NIS pension paid. Every month in this country, house, all other grants are paying. That you're entitled to are paying. It's every month. They don't give you a one-off payment every month. But again, that is the dog with the bone. So you look in the water and see the reflection and say, hey, that bone looking bigger than why I have an open mouth and the bone drop out and realize it's a damn reflection. Or the grass is green on the other side. And when you go behind the greenness, it has one set of rust and dry grass. That was some we in this country like. Just because, well, you know, like Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, as if liking Dr. Rowley will stop the country from progressing, stop the people from going to work, stop international entities from respecting Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. And when he goes out there with Minister Stuart Young, they on first name basis, they want to hear what he have to say because he's a scientist. And when it comes to oil and gas and minerals and leaders and oil, he knows everything about it. So when he starts to talk, they know he knows what he's talking about. And Minister Young knows about how to do those contracts. Super deal. And don't talk for the other ministers that we have doing the other things, right? So let me continue. Fali is saying, unwash Fali because they tell we unwash. One of his secretary and them say we unwash and unclean and all kind of uncircumcised, all kind of things she tell you, so I telling them back the same thing. Because I know me does bad. I don't know what she talking about. I don't have no piggy for nothing to circumcise, so I don't know what she's talking about. So 18 hours ago, Farley clears the air. You understand? You understand, Sandra? Sandra say it's 14 set of NIS payments being paid monthly every month, but they're watching a $500 one-off payment. Farley clears the air on payment to ATFA, over 1.1 million given so far, and this was in the Guardian. It said Chief Secretary Farley Augustine says the Tobago House of Assembly has already paid 1.1 million to all Tobago Fisherfolk Association for its role in the oil spill cleanup earlier this year. Speaking at a media conference yesterday, he said while the THA owes ATFA more funds, claims suggesting no payments has been made are inaccurate. To say no payments are made is inaccurate. So he's saying he paid, while them saying he paid. He say he paid. He further asked disgruntled fishermen who claim to have not received a dime to refocus their anger, frustration, and demand the right direction. And demands in the right directions. ATFA, Papa. They're not a dictator, so people can quarrel for the money. According to Augustine, two payments were issued to the ATFA on May the 20th, one of $641,200 and another for $490,000 to installing 1 point. Totaling, Papa, they put, look now, they put TO and then a dash and then the rest of the word. So it looked like totaling. Totaling to $1,131,200. He also confirmed that approximately $5 million remains outstanding to ATFA, with $2 million currently being processed and expected to be paid soon. Augustine condemned the ATFA work. Augustine commended the ATFA work during the oil spill and defended the association's cause, saying the fishermen worked hard and deserve every red cent. No, they want blue cent, they don't want a red cent. However, he criticized its president for claiming that the THA had not made any payments. Augustine noted the challenges faced by fishermen subcontracted by the ATFA. He said, and so you, ATFA, being the responsible organization that I know you are, when you are paid, you will take care of your service providers. I also appreciate that there is a knock-on effect, meaning that the people you call out to work have not received their full payments to date because you, AFTA, have not received your full payments. So then, Farley, if the people say they ain't got the money, how you could vex with them? You basically saying they ain't got the money. You pay somebody, don't vex with them who ain't got money if they correlate for the money, Farley. Look, me even feel to read more in this, you know. Because I think Farley is a kind of waste of time, you know. Farley explained that the delay in full payments stemmed from limited funding from this. He had a mind, he going in from central government. While the THA requested 153 million to cover oil spill related expenses, only 15 million was approved and sent, he said. The THA supplemented this with 50 million from its own budget, but the funds remain insufficient to cover all invoices. He assured ATFA and its president, Curtis Douglas, that the remaining 3 million will be paid in 2025. Augustine committed to settling all outstanding accounts while balancing other essential expenses for Tobago, such as school repair and infrastructure projects. Fishermen, don't hold on your breath. When you are in the public space, ATFA cussing and saying THA don't want to pay you, that's the furthest thing from the truth. The THA is really paying what it has. Did you tell them that? Let me make it clear. ATFA, the THA knows it owes you and some other service provider. I live in it right. You know I live in it right. Farley tell these people all kind of thing. It's a right to say they ain't get their money ever. And he come back now to say they ain't get all the money. And the people who didn't get all the money is them who complaining. The people who get the money won't complain. And you admit that you ain't pay all the people. So how you vex the people because they're complaining? Look now, Farley is a blasted waste of time, yes? And we don't know blasted more. So while that happening, people want their money. This is what happening in Tobago, Papa. This is what happening in Tobago. You think it's soft? But it's Dr. Rowley who wicked. This is from Liz Williams' page. Some THA workers sent home mere days before Christmas. Workers attached to the Division of Settlement, Public Utilities and Rural Development are called into a meeting and some were told do not return to the office. While some employees are receiving Christmas dinners and bonuses with Christmas just days away, some employees of the division settlement situated at Glen Road received the news that their job positions have become redundant and they will no longer be employed with the division as of the 31st of November 2024. Some of these employees have over 10 years of service with the division. Employee, call me. If all listening, anybody from the Division of Settlement and Public Utilities and Rural Development, all they call me. Who get fired, all they call me. 10-year service, and just call all and just so and fire all they call me. All they tell them I say call me. Call me. Call me. So I'm seeing this on a gentleman page. He does a lot of writing. I don't know if he lives in Tobago, but he writes in the dialect. And I see he write this and I read it and I say I'm going to read it only. I read it from the man page. It's Anderson Charles Augustine. So anything only go and look on his page and see if what I see is not the truth. But he writes it. He said, all you think them people here wicked and joke. 15 more workers from settlement get fire for Christmas, but Liad Farley wife get a big work by Fair Division paying 25 grand a month after they tamper with the interview for make sure she get the work. Papa Aman answer back in a comment. Here the man say, I didn't say go on the page, only go see for that. They said, Ashwad madam in settlements too. A failure at TTAL was getting 45K a month. How much YT paying she in settlements? What is she background? This is what these suckers doing with the little bit of money we getting to hire party hacks, friends and family all over the blasted THA. Oh God, oh God, oh God. So let me read all that chronicle. I'll get it from, I'll tell you the page I get it from Papa. It have a chronicle of all who Farley and them sent home since they come in office. It's a page off of Gavin Walters' Facebook. It says, you know what bothered me with this post? This THA came into office at the end of 2021, December the 6th. And by February 2022, a mere 2 months after, they lynched the first crop of about 14 to 15 workers from a unit out of a job. Farley referred to them as political hires and promised more to come. That more came the next month, 3 months after December the 16th, 2021, and lynched 16 more workers out of a job, including myself, on March the 31st. In April of 2022, 4 months after entering office on December the 6th, 2021, they lynched 41 more at the CPET, but took back a few they wanted, who were probably secretly or clandestinely campaigning for them. Then it was on to TADCO in 2023, where 60 more got lynched, taking back 45 on short term and left out the other 15. Why? The Warners were blacklisted by Farley almost immediately after assuming office because he corruptly received contract from the PNM, making them PNM too, even if the business existed long before the PNM went into office 2021. That is what he said. Farley accused, apparently, or whatever the Warner are doing, right? Or they corruptly received contract and all kind of thing, right? Why you think Ashford and Warner were close friends? And they are our neighbors at Green Hill and Mount St. George, yet they profited under the PNN. The fact that they got no more jobs here in Tobago meant that the workers they had were left unemployed too. At the end of the day, hundreds of Tobagonians became unemployed by this evil, hateful, and wicked regime, which is the TPP was PDP independent TPP. I put in that part. But it is the PNM that is wicked. Really? What about the individual workers who went out of contract when they came to an end because they did not renew them when in some cases it was the secretary's wish. Only last week, 9 more with 14 and 17-year services got lynched at settlement under that wicked, evil, spiteful, and malicious Ian Whitey Pollard, finally having his way with weak public servants, but at the expense of his party hacks and friends, including that failure at TTAL, now with lots to say on Facebook. All of them swore by the Bible before taking up duty to not be partial and malicious, but to be conscientious in carrying out their duties. They knew they were lying. They knew they came into office with a mindset of revenge because that's how they campaign. They campaign just to win by sowing seeds of hate and divisiveness, not to govern this island with dignity, fairness, and on the basis of knowledge and experience, because not one of them possess both. But today, many of the supporters, especially those eating a healthy food from all sorts of appointments, made up positions at lucrative salaries, are the ones who promote these wicked, lying, dishonest, corrupt, no good with shit talk. I read it how I see it. I watch with disgust their hounds on social media, thirsty for PNM blood, rejoicing over the lynching of people out of their job, without any iota of care or concern for who had bills of various kinds to pay, loans, rent, mortgages, dependents to see about, plus themselves who have to live. Yet the PNM is wicked, There are many of us who will see through our very own eyes the punishment of this wicked, heartless regime, the TPP, that we're talking about, and the associates who continue to condone and endorse their behavior and acts of victimization, which is unprecedented in the history of the THA in 44 years. Compare what they did to what some cabinet note proposed that never came into play. But the senior citizens of this country have a lot to be thankful for from the PNM, because it was since the first prime minister of this country that pension and many other benefits were introduced. Unfortunately, some senior citizens are dishonest and abuse the system, which must be controlled. But no one else can take credit for any benefits that all our citizens enjoy. They all come in, ride with it, and when with what they met, improving it over time as it should be. Let us not forget the National Insurance Benefit was a PNM initiative that Robinson encouraged our citizens to reject. Those who did regret it. Today it is now an entitlement for all retirees. So why should the PNM prevail? Why should they prevail? Because I'm saying so, that way they must prevail. No other entity can, and certainly not the TPP, just play it like a QT. Oh God, Papa, if you see the sign. The one term will soon end. So save up all the lucrative salaries. So that is coming out of Tobago, and you hear people falling and then fire. I want to say something quickly on the senior citizen pension grant amendment bill. Excuse me. We all saw what that have happened. We were very concerned. We were frightened because it showed us a cap. If you have $25,000 in the bank, that might, when you're 65, that might make you ineligible to receive old age. And again, people, that pension is a pension nobody contributes to. So it's a grant. Then we heard that there seemed to be some type of whatever miscommunication, error, whatever it is. However, that bill has been withdrawn. I don't know why people are not focusing on the fact that the bill was withdrawn. That thing with the $25,000 as a cap and the savings, that has been withdrawn. What remains is what it always had. It is not about your savings in the bank, auntie and uncle. It's not about your little money where you save up, chop. It is about your income, how much income you receive every month. That and other issues will determine whether or not you will be eligible to get the old age pension. It has nothing to do with your money you have in the bank. I don't know why people continue in the government wicked. The government would have been wicked and evil if they had let that bill go through as it was. I don't know if it's because they heard the cries of the people, they saw the trauma it created and look it over again and realize, no, we can't do this. but the bill has been withdrawn. And as the post I was reading by Brother Walters, it is the People's National Movement who brought all those government policies into play. It wasn't the UNC, it wasn't the NAR, it wasn't the nobody as the PNM. So you enjoy NIS today because of a PNM policy. And you heard what Brother Walter say, that Anna Robinson would have bad talk it and tell people, don't get involved in it, whatever it is. And he said they live to regret it. And I understand too, when the falling out that happened with Dr. Eric Williams and Anna Robinson, I wasn't there. I understand because he was a son. Look what that man was handsome, and educated everything. And oh, the little nice brownish color and thing. I hear when he went back to Tobago, it is alleged he is the one, it is alleged, would have contributed to that kind of unease between Trinidad and Tobago, because wherever you tell them and put in their mind, Trinidad don't like them, and and they say that is where the whole bacchanal start. And I'm inclined to believe, based on what Brother Walter said, if he was telling Tobago people not to get involved in the NIS, well then what again he would have told them? But that was a policy of the People's National Movement. NIS pension, when you finish work at 60, government pension initiative, because a pension plan was put in place. The old age pension that nobody contributes to, but then the government put in money there. Some people say, well, oh, the elderly, they may have buy things and they contributed when they buy things and all that. Yeah, but it's not the same, really. But because PNM government understand that you have to help the elderly, the less vulnerable in our society, the children who are vulnerable with whatever ailments they may have and all that, the resources have gone to help them and they get them every month, not one-off payments. So senior citizens, please go to sleep comfortable. Nobody interfere with all this savings, and don't let them only tie up on their head and come now only talking about it. And oh, the explanation they give ain't good enough. Whatever the hell explanation they give, the salient point is they pull back the damn bill. They pull it back, they withdraw it. So what problem will they have now? They withdraw the damn bill, so everything remains the same. Nothing to do with your savings. It's your income every month they're going to be looking at. I rest that Friday. And those initiatives are government policies, PNM policies. UNCA make no policy. This baby grant, that was not government policy, you know. That was an idea to throw out and talk about it. It sounded or whatever. It was not government policy. But the policies that we enjoy every month, NIS and all the benefits, government policy, People's National Movement policy, under Dr. Eric Eustace Williams, and it continued during the ages. Hey, let me go forward. So let me leave Tobago alone and come quickly to this. So I see Ravi Balgobin, or you know that man, right? That is the one who, like when UNC want anything to go to court, they just use him. So I'm seeing that he lost another case again in the Privy Council, and his lawyer was the esteemed Ram Logan. So they're just losing cases just like that. They're just losing. So this was 21 hours ago. The Privy Council dismisses activist appeal over earners extension. Everything that is appeal. Wasting money because the state had to pay lawyers with taxpayers' money to fight the case because the state only taken to court. The cabinet is free to decide whether or not to grant Police Commissioner Earl Haywood Christopher a final one-year extension while she celebrates her 62nd birthday on May the 14th next year. Delivering a judgment yesterday morning, 5 law lords of the United Kingdom-based Privy Council dismissed the final appeal in a lawsuit challenging the constitutionality of the previous extension given to her. In the appeal, political and social activist Ravi Balgobin Maharaj claimed that his lawsuit was wrongfully dismissed by High Court Judge Ricky Rahim and the Court of Appeal earlier this year. The law lords found that the case was properly decided by the local courts. For all those reasons, which are similar to those given by the Court of Appeal, Section 75A of the 2006 Act, is not unconstitutional, and there is nothing unlawful in the decision of the President to extend the service of the Commissioner beyond her normal retirement age, Lord or Lady Ingrid Silmer said. In the lawsuit, Maharaj challenged a decision taken by the cabinet to extend Haywood Christopher's term by a year under Section 75 of the Police Service Act before she reached retirement age on May the 15th last year. The legislation empowers the president to extend the term of a first division officer who is due to retire if it is in the interest or the national interest to do so. Police officers can receive 2 further 1-year extensions based on annual performance reviews. Maharaj legal team, led by senior counsel Anna Ramlogan, who was given silk by Kamala Prasad Bisesa when she gave she herself silk, contended that the provision is inconsistent with Section 123 of the Constitution, which gives the Police Service Commission the power to recommend the appointment or removal of the police commissioner and deputy commissioners of the police to be approved by the House of Representatives. They pointed out that the constitutional process sought to ensure that there is no political interference. In response to the case, lawyers representing the cabinet relied on the affidavit from Director of Personnel Administration Corey Harrison, who served as Secretary of the Police Service Commission. In the document, Harrison claimed that the Police Service Commission was aware of Haywood Christopher's age and the possibility of her receiving an extension when she was first appointed in February last year after acting in the post previously. He also pointed out that similar extensions were afforded to former police commissioners James Filbert and McDonald Jacob. After the case was rejected by the appeal court in May, Haywood Christopher received a second extension. In her judgment, Lady Simmer, that's in the Privy Council, the white people, not that the white people say it, oh my God, it has to be true. In her judgment, Lady Simmer ruled that the legislation did not interfere with the Police Service Commission remit, although since the amendments made in 2006, the Police Service Commission has had exclusive power, subject to negative resolution of the House of Representatives, to appoint, promote, remove from office, and exercise disciplinary control over those holding office of the commissioner and deputy commissioner. It is not and never has been charged with responsibility for settling the terms and conditions of appointment under which the commissioner and deputy commissioner serves. That is what Lady Smell said. Its jurisdiction has never been modified to include establishing retirement age or any mechanism for extending service beyond that age, she added. That's Lady Samir from the Privy Council. While she admitted that executive interference with the appointment and removal of the commissioner would be unconstitutional, Lady Simler not noted that settling the terms of service of police officers, including the commissioner, was within the domain of the executive and the parliament. She also ruled that the president was obligated to act on the advice of cabinet in deciding whether it was in the national interest to extend Haywood Christopher's term after she reached compulsory retirement age. In a press release issued yesterday, Attorney General Reginald Amar SC hailed the outcome. He said that by consecutively rejecting the case, the local courts and foreign courts affirmed the actions taken by the cabinet. The state's success at each stage of the litigation, from the initial hearing of this country's highest recognized court of appeal, demonstrates and confirms that cabinet acted consistently with the law and in the national interest to extend the service of Mrs. Earl Haywood Christopher as Commissioner of Police, he said. The jurisdiction of the Police Service Commission over the Commissioner of Police was in no way compromised by any action taken, and so remains intact and will continue to be respected, he added. Oh God. Maharaj issues his own press release expressing disappointment. Throughout the ruling, the laws of the Privy Council maintain that there is a separation of powers and independence within the police service. But in this conclusion, find that the president is obligated to conform to the will of the cabinet as a result of the shortcomings of the legislation and the failure of parliament to recognize and update these deficiencies, Maharaj says. As such, this nation is forced to contend with a commissioner on a police service that continues to fail in their duty to protect our citizens on a daily basis, he added. Maharaj was also represented by Adam Riley and Mohammed Jamir Hafiz Beg. Cabinet was represented by Douglas Menz, SC, Gabriel Gelignon, Rishi Das, SC, and Vanessa Gopal represented the AG's office. The salient point is the loss. The loss in the low court, high court, appeal court, privy council about. I want to later watch this guy and tell me what has happened to this fellow, what's his name? Ravi Balgovind Maharaj. Tell me something is looking wrong. So this is him, handsome guy. Look how he looks here. That is Ravi. Look at Ravi there. Okay. Then look at Ravi here. There seems to be a transformation. Look at Ravi here. Then, my goodness, look at Ravi here. Something seems to be happening. And then finally, you all want me to show you all over again? Okay, let me start back. Because I find it this is alarming. Look at Ravi here. Let me open it up. Look at Ravi. Handsome guy. Handsome guy. Okay. Then look at Ravi here. Something seems to be happening. There seems to be a transformation. Okay. We're going again. Look at Ravi here. What's happening? And then the peer result. What has happened? Okay. So I continues. So you know that Dr. Rowley and they would have opened some park they're doing down in the west down there. And they were down there, I don't know if it's turning the side or continuing it or whatever. But of course, you know peoples, once they see Dr. Rowley and he doing anything, they go talk. Here do they go talk. So here what Dr. Rowley do is in the best interest of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago and so that, yes? So today's Friday. So I saw this I took it from Miss News Source and Miss Rhoda Barrett's page. And I think she was responding to these messages on Facebook, these comments, and probably it was on her page, I'm not sure. So somebody named, I wouldn't call the people name, said, I run in there 3 months now, people training there more than a year, aerobics, football, etc. No open, thought that was closed due to snails. That is what the Borough Corp posted and said. Ms. Barrett responded, this is the other bit across the overpass where the construction company had temporary offices, not the bit next to the Borough Corporation. The woman responded to she. So a whole ceremony to open another park opposite the existing park? Ms. Barrett responded, I've seen ceremonies to open a standpipe and a play swing in Cookery. So a park, and she shrugged. Oh God, somebody take on she, Ms. Barrett, and telling the woman who was challenging Ms. Barrett, saying, Rhoda Barrett is the defender of the PNM. I'm sure she getting paid as a social media commenter, LOL, blah, blah, blah. So Ms. Barrett would have put, in today's logical fallacies lessons, let's examine this thread that falls under a story about the opening of West Park. 1, ignorance and doubling down by, and she called the person name, the park is a multi-phase project. The first phase opened since before the pandemic struck is the big playing field and car park. The second area to be opened up for operation was the Borough Corp complex, which shares its space with FCB. There were opening ceremonies for that a few years ago. The construction company had its temporary buildings on part of the lands. They have vacated the area and built up the next phase of the park, which will be a green space. That is what was open yesterday. 2, disinformation. On occasions of maintenance and upgrade works, the park is closed to residents. By closed, a notice is sent around indicating the works and what activities will be prevented. During the closure to treat with snails, residents would still use the park for walking. 3, deflection. In the face of the obvious ignorance about the park, when a resident of the area politely clarifies, the next attempt is to deflect and shift goalposts. And for ad hominem attacks, Kedar then shows up to make a personal attack because how else to tackle a discussion based on actual information. So she said, this is what Ms. Rhoda Barrett is saying are the components they're using now in the face of fallacies. So they have, the formula is ignorance, disinformation, deflection, and personal attacks. And she said, that is what they use. And she said the formula is, that is the formula, she said. So the formula for the fallacies, no matter what you tell them, is ignorance, disinformation, deflection, and personal attacks. She said, get familiar with it. 2025 will be a long year. And she also invite people to come and visit the park. So that is a big hubbub about the park that opened. Ms. Barrett would have explained exactly. It was open in phases. But when she explained to them, instead of start a personal attack, she about that she was paid by the PNM or the show she paid. So that's what they do. Yeah. OWTU is saying, because an injunction was served on them to desist from taking industrial actions. Well, I see them a woman talking, they probably hear me, so they put a woman to talk now. It's refreshing. It's nice to see Sir Roger sit down there and the lady speaking. I don't know who she is. That's very nice. So I'm glad they're hearing me. Let the woman and them talk. And the woman and them hearing me. When they had the thing, take the mic and all, they start to talk. Let people know it's a woman in the union movement, in leadership roles. So he said, only the first one. Like it hot in heat that she talking instead of he. So anyways, this was in CNC3. December 19, OWT said no outage for Christmas. Threatened with imprisonment and decertification, the Oilfield Workers Trade Union President, General Ans. The union president, General Ansel Roger, is denying that workers have taken industrial action, assuring there will be a reliable supply of electricity for Christmas once the commission provides proper tools and equipment. Speaking at a press conference on Thursday, December 19, 2024, Roger said workers are not engaged in an industrial action, yet the commission has been successful in getting an injunction which threatens the union with decertification and jail for OWT executive should they defy it. Outlining a range of concerns, OWTU Vice President Risa Ramlogan Ajoda said the union has been highlighting HSC violations which the public should know about. She said garbage has been spilling up at the distribution central in Point Lisa's garden, creating a haven for rodents and snakes. Like Roger, she also denied workers were taking industrial action. Ramlogan Ajoda also alleged that Tiantec was violating the collective agreement as it relates to health and safety. Tiantec field workers were being forced to do overtime and work under perilous conditions, she explained. Among the health and safety issues, the OWT executive raised with defective trucks, defective tools, inadequate PPE, bullying of workers to execute jobs despite required permits, no training and certification, and for lift truck operators, untrained contract workers, covering up of accidents, and a shortage of manpower. Guardian Media has reached out to Tiantec, and we are waiting a response, that's Guardian Media, from the Commission on the Health and Safety Issues highlighted. I want to tell OWTU and that woman something, the whoever president. All they know talking about these things. All of us doing all the time. All of us highlighting that to the public. We wasn't doing anything but them thing. All of us raising them issues and coming out against that, because when they say health and safety issue, the OSHA Act clearly states workers can refuse, or a worker can refuse to work if they are violation of health and safety and against the life and limb and all that. How we wasn't seeing and hearing that all the time, only now talking that. And when Roger said, no industrial action because they threaten with jail, you're afraid jail? Long time. George Weeks, you Rebels, Butler, and all them men and them. You think that's stopping them? If you know they're taking part in no industrial action, then how you going to get locked up? So you pat down with them, all of us taking industrial action. I don't understand it. Roger had big mouth this Saturday. All they went out in front of the Prime Minister office. All they had big mouth. Injunction and they pipe down. You let a pussy. Pussy, a weak, sick one. No, them still better than you. That's still better than you. That's still better than you. Me know what to call you. To waste our time. That when all they want to get into politics. And all they want to play the political game. All they become political enemies now. Because when the government had to deal with all you, they ain't see no union leader. They see political people. And no politician is supposed to be running no union. Or they will have lost all their mandate. And all the laws why unions are formed is for the interest, welfare, and benefit of workers, for the members, not for all the benefit. All they're supposed to be doing what the workers want all they to do because the workers paying all here. But no, they're directing the scene to join with UNC, join with this party. You have no right to join with no political party. Whether PNM, UNC, whoever, they have no right as union leaders to join with no party. Because all they're dealing with labor. That's why they have no respect for them. So when they see things happening, don't vex for the employer with the government. When they treat all kind of how. It's all they make, we get compromise. I will always be a union case. When all they start to do the right thing, I stay out all their business because they're doing the right thing. In the absence of that, I'm not blaming the employer. I'm not blaming the employer because if all they was doing the right thing, the employer couldn't do nothing. All they said was be doing workers. It's because of all your employers that do workers, all kind of thing, because all they don't seeking the interests of workers no more. All they seeking all their own political benefit, all their own financial benefit. All they want the office. Or they find the office of a union leader ain't good enough again. Or they want to be the employer too. But they can't be employer and employer at the same time because you are the employee of the members who pay your money, Roshi. So you can't be an employer. If you want to be an employer, step out the blasted union and let the union run right. So you're not coming to tell me all them health and safety issues that woman telling me about they have in TNT. Oh, they never do nothing. Or they say nothing. You're now talking that TNT bullying workers to go and work in health and safety conditions that could harm them. Oh God, shame. Are they afraid they get locked up now? If only they're doing the right thing, it would have never reached to that. Or they would have the public on all the side. Let me continue, sir, Papa. But you know what we're not hearing about? What happened to the case at the MBD? Did Mulan file his defense? We ain't hearing nothing more that the media ain't talking nothing more that, but we're talking about the withdrawn senior citizen amendment pension grant. They're talking about that all over. Who's going to tell me if Mulan and the contractors and file the defense? The Privy Council tell them to file it. We ain't hearing nothing. They get extension and extension. We ain't hearing nothing. That quiet on the law. But they're only talking about a bill that withdrawn. Best we start to talk about Section 34 because that was withdrawn, but not before. 2 financiers were freed who should have made jail in America already because other people make the jail for the airport, Piaco Airport, biggest scandal, massive corruption under Bazio Pandey. People that make jail fit and pay back money. Or they tell them when they come in office, or they tell the Americans and them, don't extradite them. We go make sure that they go to court here. What they do? Section 34. In the dead of the night, when we celebrated independence, and by Monday morning, after Dr. Rowley had to lead the biggest march in local history, in recent history in this country, where all groups, non-political, political groups, march because of that. When all they repeated by that time, the lawyers, H&C lawyers, and run up the step to say, my clients and they cannot be held to account because all they pass a bad law and all they want to pull it back. We should be able to benefit from it. And they did benefit. One of them dead, one still here. Let me talk about that now. But a bill that has been repealed, not repealed, a bill that has been withdrawn, and the circumstances and how the elderly will get the old age pension still exist, which has nothing to do with the saving, or they can only talk on and on and on. Or they're too sick in this place, yes? But nobody tell me about EMBD and whether or not they file. because a civil suit. If all let them people come back in this place next year, God's they're going to make sure they throw out all them cases and then because it's a civil case, the government took on behalf of the taxpayers of this country to get back with money from the alleged corruption and cartel-like behavior and contract given in EMBD, where Rulal was the line minister. Only play with them. So here this piece of bacchanal only. It had a spit here. Just recently, we see the split here. You remember Kamala meet with the union and she meet with all kind of people and COP and thing. The man in white, as far as I know, is the political leader of the Congress of the People. Some could Senate. He the day we all meet. Okay. And then I see something where he say he either get greetings some earlier this year or something so to the Muslim community, if I'm not mistaken. So I said, let me see where it is.
Hi, good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. My name is Kurt Sinet, the political leader of the Congress of the People. I would like to take this opportunity to wish the Hindu community a happy Diwali with love and prosperity. May you all continue to grow in strength. Bless.
Papayos, ole eres pisa bacana. Oh caroy, oh caroy, oh God, boy, give me a minute. Oh God, oi. Ole no a man named Prakash Ramadan. Let me tell you something. This thing getting power. 18 hours ago in the Guardian, Prakash returns to lead Congress of the People into general elections. Former Congress of the People leader Prakash Ramadan is back as interim leader of the party. He has replaced interim leader Kurt Sinet, and the COP is now fully part of the Progressive Alliance, which includes Gary Griffith National Transformation Alliance and Timothy Hamel-Smith Hope. Sinet confirmed the movements yesterday, while Hope Deputy Leader Louis Lee Singh has called for the United National Congress, UNC, MP Rushdan Pare and his 4 other so-called dissident colleagues to join them. Nor Kurt Sinet to just not join with Kamala Persad-Bissessar and them, nor Kurt Sinet and them. Prakash come through here. Prakash go and join with Hope and Gary Griffith and them, and they call in the 4 dissidents from the UNC to join with them. All the way, like the thing getting sweet. Griffith, who has welcomed Ramadan back, called on the parties in the PA to stand their ground on principles and not let other parties abuse them. Ramadan didn't answer calls on the development yesterday. Ramadan, attorney, was COP deputy leader in 2010 and was given the St. Augustine seat by the UNC to contest the unity deal Congress of the People had with the United National Congress to form the People's Partnership Coalition. He was elected St. Augustine MP in 2010, and in 2011, Ramadan was elected COP leader after then leader Winston Dukaran didn't contest. Ramadan was re-elected as MP in 2015. After bickering in the COP, however, Ramadan resigned as leader in 2016 and didn't contest a seat again. He was successful as leader. He was succeeded as leader by Caroline Sipasad-Bechan. Ramadan has been spotlighted recently, representing families in the Paria Divers tragedy. Senate, who has been COP interim leader since 2020, was among political parties and trade union leaders who held coalition talks with UNC leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar last week. Yesterday, Senate said the move to bring Ramadan back is geared at reviving COP old base and reattracting people who were in the party at its height. He said he had run his course as interim leader and approached Ramadan 2 weeks ago to take over. Senate added he was somewhat hesitant to get back into it, but I reminded him of his daughter living in TNT and the state of the country. A week later, he told me he'd take it up. Upon COP constitution, the leader can appoint a deputy leader, so I appointed him as deputy leader 2 days ago. That's a step up to leader. Then I resigned the same day and handed over. So he became interim leader due to resignation. Senate said. I had talked to CP executive on it weeks ago and everybody agreed. See, but apparently when the levels he didn't agree. Because from thing he posted, like he in shock. That's my opinion. COP National Council now has to vote and approve his leadership. When asked when this will be, he said, it's up to Ramadan, who is in charge now. We have been getting good feedback on him since he sent out word of it via WhatsApp. I think he still brings value to politics. Sinha said he went to Ramadan to continue the coalition talk with Prasad Bisesa and would insist Ramadan insists that Gary be part of any coalition with the UNC. He said his COP hasn't finalized anything with UNC and is currently focused on fixing itself. Look, me reading no more. I just want to say this, right? Could Senate come now, man? A logical person could see they tell you have to ride out. A logical thinking person will see that. I'm going to wipe my nose on the little thing because I want to laugh. A logical person can see that they throw you out. Because if you the only time you go, they bring him back around that because he can attract people. So, could Senate you didn't attract nobody to come to join you at the COP? You should shame to say that. That Ramadan could walk back in now, just so, in a couple of days, and throw you out anybody. When I resign in it, I tell all they feel. Some of these people care about all you. Because Senate are shameful. I feel shameful. You hold it down on Prakash Ramadan, they want no part of the COP because he wasn't there. You hold it down since 2020, and they come just so in a daytime and throw your ass out and tell me about it discussed weeks ago. Then what the hell they was doing in the coalition with the UNC, the new coalition? Because I know with Prakash growing with Hope don't want no part of UNC. So come now, man. All I want to talk about, the government pull back the senior citizen amendment bill and thing, and all they don't take what they say as excuse, but they pull it back. Nobody affected. But this what you put here, this worse than any government pulling back and withdrawing amendment bill. You're not sounding good. This sounding like if they tell you need to go. Will you want to meet at UNC for we tell you want to meet at UNC? You could lead. I paint it my way how I feel it must go. I didn't say so it go. They say, watch me. Who give you permission to go and meet at UNC? If you use any leader thing, we just rescue that you play, you want to jump out yourself, watch yourself. I write them back in. No way you're doing put out whoever bleeds at a put, but make it look good. Could Senate, in my opinion, they throw you out. Prakash, like, watch me rock somebody. You can't run no party, boy. You get too big for yourself. Who you feel you is by? All you feel like, why did they leave you? And why did they leave you as the leader of the COP and he the deputy? You could pass with that bullshit, yes, good Senate, they throw your ass out. That is my opinion. So let me continue. So I think I may leave this one with UNC made a bad deal for NGC. I will leave that for Monday, Gospel, because we know all the things that UNC would have done to this country. And Minister Young in the energy sector, Kevin Ramnarine, is a waste of time. All the bad deals they made and all them things, and Dr. Rowley and Minister Young had to go out and clean up everything. I'll leave that for Monday, Gospel. I want to play this for all of you here. And all you understand why I continue to ask a gentleman called Oral Saunders to answer some questions. Listen to this.
The members from any outsiders, we stand united. We are a team of dedicated, hard-working. And let me just tell you something as that's going on. What we would have done is to get persons who even work with Mr. Duke. to come on board with United Public Officers. Persons who would have worked with Comrade Cover to get on board with us. Persons who would have even had to work with Mr. Curtis Coffey, and even persons who would have worked with the labor warriors, Comrade Murray. All of those persons have recognized Oral. It's not that you are better than anybody, you know, but Oral, we respect your consistency. Because some of those persons that came on board, they and I had fallen out in the past, but they were more mature than Mr. Calendar, because they were willing to put aside our differences, understanding that Mr. Saunders wants to make a better PSA, and I, in return, accepting that those persons have always been dedicated and wanted to make a difference in the public service, but they were not given the opportunity to do such, and therefore we opened the doors for the United Public Officers, for them to come in, for us to share our strengths, share our values, share our vision, and work for the public service. Because we recognize that there are so many traveling officers today, and those traveling officers want to get an increase in traveling loans so that they can get 4x4 to go in remote areas to do their job. Persons, as I said, who continue to be temporary employed. What about the workers in the NIB who are also still working on outdated salaries, although they have an agreement in front of them, although the management would have budgeted for a salary increase and subsequent back pay, but it has not been happening. We recognize sorry, go ahead.
Let me ask you. Yeah, I do want you to because I know you're passionate about what you want to see in the PSA, but I want to ask these questions because these questions are coming up fast and serious, and people are asking these questions. Now, the moderator, you said that was Ms. Jennifer Fredericks, would have been the one who would have been seen about the whole
the entire committee together. She chose the persons and she brought the persons together.
Right, she would have brought all the committee members together. And the question is being asked, there's a flyer being circulated where she would have probably put out, alleged that she put it out on a page or sent it out to PSA or PSA page, stating that calling on the election officer to recognize one team and one team only, which is United Sentinel team. If that is true, isn't that not a conflict of interest?
Comrade, I really do not want to make the actions of an individual who is not running for election an issue. That person is free to put up whatever they want because they could be very much delusional. And you know, comrade, my substantive post in the public service is at the St. Anne's Hospital. So when we see persons behaving in a particular way, we have questions because that individual is fully well aware that what they are, based on what you would have said, that is nonsensical. It is such a nonsensical and moot point because we all knew Mr. Calendar as Nixon Calendar and Team Sentinel, not so?
Yes, you're right. Team Sentinel, yeah.
Right. How come in 2024, now that an election bell has been rung, all of a sudden, their new name is PSA United Sentinel. Even my name they want to steal. Even my name is not even safe. We have been consistent in our comrade. We have always been the United Public Officers. It was an amalgamation
of Team Phoenix and the United Protectors. We have never changed our name because our name speaks about our identity and it speaks about our character. Anybody who is trying to mimic the Oral Saunders and United Public Officers team, calling themselves United, that in itself should tell you a lot about the individual. All the time your name was Team Sentinel, all of a sudden you want to be United Team Sentinel, or whatever you want to call yourself.
Right. So that there is Oral Saunders. But I want to address something that the moderator of that internet show would have said, and that person is Fearless Warrior. I never sent any flyer to no election officer. Earlier this year, I started to put up a post on my page, one team and one team alone. PSA election wasn't announced. They didn't have no election committee. They didn't have no election officer, nothing. I doing that on my own. I free to do that. I putting up one team and one team alone. So I never send no document or nothing to no election officer. Election officer was chosen just about a month ago or something, so whatever the case. I never had no interaction with the person. I knows nothing but the woman or whoever the hell it is. So let me put that in. 2, I want to tell Oral Saunders putting on her glasses doesn't make you look impressive or intelligent, right? 3, the word unity. I don't know the word unity or united. I don't know the word united that Oral Saunders would have it copyright, so nobody else can use united. Well, then you know what, the UNC need to tell you, you have no right to use the word united because that means United National Congress. So I didn't know the word united was yours. So anybody want to choose to put united in whatever team they have all right to do so, unless you could show that you copyright the word united. The next point, I delusional. And I put together a team. I want to tell people again, and you'll see for all yourself, because I don't work sentence as no psychiatric nurse. 8 people. I call a comrade who has now retired from the public service. I said, comrade, and just to put it on notice, I retired next year. I said, comrade, we're going to retire just now. We must have an election this year because it's constitutional due and all that. You know the 2 people it have out there, people know the name and all that is Oral Saunders, Nixon Calendar. Let me see if we could get them brothers and them and sit down and talk. And they could, whatever decision they want, and them go and handle the stories. We didn't form no team. The comrades say, if we could get them to the table, no seed. I called both parties, they agreed to come and meet. I called some other comrades, 4 other comrades, and let me tell you something. It was 8 of us in all. Oral Saunders, Nixon Calendar, myself, and I want to call the other 5 people. Out of that group, this year, 2 retire. 1 in the group had retired before, so like 3 retired in the public service. They can't vote, nothing. So we didn't have no team. I going to retire next year because just I'm not taking part in no election. And the other person was a public officer, but would have left the public service, but well, used to be a PSA member. So 5 people out of the 8 of us either had retired, going to retire, or not retired. So what team it is we had? It was just people who met and was having a conversation. Out of the conversation, he and Kalinda could have come out together and continue to meet with public officers and decide to form a team. It did not work out. So I don't know what he's talking about. And keep talking about they voted for him. Again, it was 8 of us. If you exclude here and Nixon Calendar, it was 6 of us who voted. And out of the 6 who voted, 5 are we retire, going to retire, or they don't retire. So that is not no legitimate anything. It was just to say, as only going forward, only go decide who will be when only forming all the team, who will be the president and who will be the vice president. That is all it was. So who wants to talk about illusional? This man talking about he was voted for and people vote for him. Again, I said 4 people vote. 4 people vote for him, 2 vote against myself and the individual who is no longer in the public service. And the 4 who voted for him, only one of them still in the public service. So it wasn't that kind of thing. It was just We will talk because we, the elders, we live in the service, whoever, unless the young ones to carry on, whoever. That's what it was. But he chose to go. The only thing I would have said, probably publicly, about Oral Sanders is that I no longer support him. Because I was on teams with him, and I was a supporter of him. I will deny that. I'm not going to deny that. I was a reporter, a supporter of him. We were in team. I was in Team Phoenix. Then it was UP. So yeah, that when he now formed his team, and then they joined with Phoenix and become United Public Officers. And I contested with them 2013 election, 2017 election when we didn't have an election. Excuse me, and the last election, 2020. So I want to ask our son, because talk about delusion and character and all that. I want to ask him again, he talk about Team Phoenix. I want to ask him if he ever received money from a businessman for Team Phoenix and he didn't declare it to them. Because me trying to draw, I hear you say, I'm trying to bait you, I'm not trying to bait you, sir. You went on a program, the man called my name and you continue to refer my name to the conversation, you see. And in that conversation, I say, I'm delusional because you work St. Anne's Hospital, you're a psychiatric nurse, and you're questioning my character and you're questioning my integrity. So I asking you, you talk about Team Phoenix, did you receive money from a businessman and didn't declare the money to Team Phoenix? You're talking integrity and character? I want to ask you, when he was a grievance officer, when Ms. Baptiste Primus take you as a young, upcoming fella from St. Anne's Hospital as an assistant nurse, that you still is assistant nurse today, when she took you from there, brought in the PSA, you like the boss, you was the youngest and you did the most recruiting and all that, okay. And she made you a grievance officer. What happened at the CPO office that led her to break your contract and send your backside back to St. Anne's Hospital? Tell people what happened. Why Mrs. Jennifer Baptiste Primus had to rescind your contract before the time up and send your ass packing back to St. Anne's Hospital? We're talking character, we're talking integrity. Again. How did Watson Duke become the presidential candidate in 2009? Because everybody knows you was on the list, was going up. Then bam, we see how did Duke become the president that remained there for 12 years and do all that damage to PSA. The PSA is so loved. How Duke became the presidential candidate in 2009. Answer that. We're talking character and who does fight for the union and integrity. During your 4 months, because you was the general secretary, 4 months you stay. Under Watson Duke, you was given instruction because he's the president, and in our constitution it speaks about when the president gives directives, right?